When I shared my design process some time ago, someone said this in the comments. By the time you're done with your colorful sketches, someone would have already prompted an AI and got a high-fidelity result. That is complete bullshit. Yes, I design on paper. Like this, multiple pages of design work, or like this, or sometimes even higher fidelity like this or this. In this video, I'm gonna tell you 5 reasons why I still design on paper. The 5th one directly ties to why I can charge more money for my work, but to be honest, all of them are important, but my favorite ones are number 4 and number 5. For very different reasons. But first, let's talk about my process step by step so you fully understand how I work and why it allows me to be better at what I do and also charge more. And then I will tell you exactly why you're missing out when you're skipping paper. I design everywhere. On the beach, on a plane, on a train, in the woods, during my car charging sessions. Basically, anytime an idea gets into this little brain here, I start designing. I try not to waste those ideas. That first step is rough idea sketching, and I have a separate notebook just for that. Or should I say, I have notebooks just for that, because all of those are already filled. And the trick to be able to rough sketch anywhere is having that little loop over here, where you can just slide in a pen and have it with you at all times. So those rough sketches can be anything. Mind maps, functionalities, ideas, sometimes even drawings, wireframes. It's mostly black ink, black pen on paper. And this is all about being quick, being rough, being iterative, being in the moment, dismissing bad ideas, jumping to another idea, and then just jumping to another one, and so on and so forth. So the whole point of this is getting ideas out of my head as quickly as possible onto paper, iterating, getting from a semi-good idea to a much better one. Then I do a more refined paper design. For almost every project I do mind maps like this, just connecting ideas to each other, separating them into groups and annotating. And for all of them, I use colors. So this paper high fidelity with colors, with different markers and highlighters, is all about spending the time refining the best ideas from the rough sketch notebook. So I use all the colors that I want. Or actually, let me show you. One set of colors, second set of colors, and then a lot of those little thin markers and black pens. This stage is about taking the time, adding colors, adding shading, adding detail, but it's not really about this being the high fidelity design. With the app icon example, it starts with a lot of very rough sketches, and then I figure out which idea is the best direction, and then I refine it. This all happens before any computer work. And sometimes, obviously, it's also screen designs that I then refine and make perfect on the computer based on that, but I spend quite a lot of time on these versions, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why I do it. So let's go through 5 reasons why I design on paper and why you should design on paper as well. Number 1, paper is low commitment. You are not as committed to an idea if you just roughly sketched it in a notebook. However, if you spend time refining all those buttons and interactions and everything, you are much less likely to see the flaws in that idea, and you might go on with it even though it doesn't make sense, just because you feel like you've put enough time already into making it beautiful. That's really not the way design should work. So in the rough sketches, I iterate a lot. I jump from one idea to the next, to the next, to the next. I cross things out, it's all dirty, it's all quick, it's all on the spot. And when I start with something, it usually ends up being something completely different at the end. And that's the whole reason why I start with paper every time. Number 2, paper is big picture thinking. Without focusing too much on the details, you can focus on the whole experience. That's why I practically always do mind maps. It's connecting ideas and concepts into different groups that flow outward from the main goal of what you're building or what you're designing. This allows me to get way more ideas than normal, and most of them are good. Number 3, paper is always available. A small notebook like this fits in the pocket. You can take it anywhere. And I am often in places where I have zero internet, zero cell reception, and I can just sit down on the beach and sketch something out. Because when you do get that great idea into your head, it's best to get it out as quickly as possible or you're gonna forget it. Okay, now we're getting to the 2 most important ones. Number 4. Neuroplasticity. If you take your sweet time with a higher fidelity paper sketch and you use colors, highlighters, shadows, you basically put a lot of effort of different kinds of skills into that. You are doing a multimodal brain work, which basically means that your brain, by doing this, forms new brain connections. You are getting smarter because you do it. And when you just prompt AI, your brain connections decay, and there are studies on that already. So you're getting dumber because you are not as engaged in the designing process anymore. You're just waiting for something to happen and you're a little bit outside of it. So when you're down on that piece of paper, adding a little bit of shading with a pencil or a nice colorful highlight, you are very much in the process. And that forms new brain connections, new ideas, new better approaches. And it also makes you feel more connected to what you're working on. And that is very healthy for the brain. It's like a hack to be smarter. It's like a hack to have your brain be more of a designer brain, while all those AI bros just typing in their prompts are slowly decaying into obscurity and joining the 99% of people who will be competing on price in the future, because nobody really cares what they think, because they don't really think much, do they? But of course, the choice is yours. And number 5, that's the one that you've been waiting for all this time, is why do people pay more for rough sketches if you can just prompt AI and get something high fidelity much quicker? Well, for one thing, many clients right now assume a designer's work looks a little bit something like this. What it means is that they feel like you as a person aren't really doing as much anymore. That the computer is doing all that stuff for you, so why should they pay you more? Like you're just a computer operator, you're a prompt engineer or something. That's not a job that's worth paying for. But if you show them your entire process, if you show them that actually it's your brain that's doing the designing, the computer is just an extension of that and it's in the final stages of the design process, then they start to respect the process. They start to respect you. They start to respect your work. And when they start to respect your work, they are more eager to pay you more for it. But there are also other reasons. On the real-life meetings, and yes, these are gonna be extensively more important in the AI future because people crave that human connection. In all those real-life meetings, having the ability to come up on the fly with an idea, sketch it on a whiteboard, have the client come over, add some little sketches to it, and truly collaborate together, not on a computer, but with the analog tools, basically. This makes this whole experience way better and more human. Having those paper sketches also allows for much better case studies because they can show your entire process beyond just typing in a prompt and getting a result or vibe coding something and it already works. So it's not just one step, it's a whole set of series of steps that you take to get from the ideas in your brain to the final product. And those case studies and those stories are way more fun to read. And that's the whole point of a case study. It needs to be engaging. It needs to be a story. It needs to be a process, not a single step. So all of that is a great way to stand out from the 99% of AI bros, AI designers that have their brain connections decaying and degrading but they can go a little bit faster with a very mid outcome. All of those people will have to compete on lowering their price every year because there's gonna be just so many of them that are exactly the same, boring, templatized, and kind of zero thought. So if you want to be like them, jump on that train, skip paper, and just do fast design. But fast design is gonna be kind of like fast food. It's not really good for you. And sure, there are those cheaper clients that will want fast design. There are clients that will be fine with mediocre AI-generated crap. But that's all good. You don't want to work for those clients because they don't have that much cash. Designers should strive to actually solve real problems for serious people, making serious things that are really good. And come to think of it, this is all the stuff that I'm actually already sharing in the Squareblock Blueprint, link in the description. It's my most pro-oriented material yet, and I'm adding all my annotation techniques, all my thinking ideas, communicating with clients, business documents, templates, documents that I use for everything in. And you probably should get it if you're serious about design, because the prices will be increasing with each next update. So if you get it sooner, you'll get it for the price that it's at right now, link in the description. And yeah, do paper. Because if you do paper, you're gonna be a much better designer. If you do better as a designer, then as a channel and as my whole mission here, I can say that I succeeded and I can do this. Another check mark. Hope you have a beautiful day. Cheers.